Hi friends and fellow Earth Angels, it's Gladys, and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will start by covering October 3rd through the 9th, or whenever you're guided to watch, as I always intend these to be timeless readings, meaning whenever this video shows up in your feed, that is the time that the messages are meant for you. So welcome. This week I am going to be channeling the Archangel Michael. So when I was connecting to the EarthAngel Collective before I hit record, I felt and saw the words practicing discernment. So we're in a Mercury Retrograde phase, which is the energy of connected to the energy of communication, travel, and electronics. So information. And I've also been guided to work with Archangel Michael because I feel that there is, on a grand level, emotional energy that's coming up connected to fear, worries, doubts. There could be challenges with the powers that be, whatever that is for you. It could be parents, it could be your work, it could be your political systems, it could be your city, state. And I feel like Michael is coming in to support you this week to diffuse energy. Remember, we always want to swing back. We want to recognize fear is an incredible navigator. It's an incredible teacher. And when you know how to work with the energy of fear, first and foremost, being able to recognize it, how it feels in your body, you're then able to lean into that fear and work with your guides to understand the message, right? Because, in my experience, up until this point, and I should say that it's October 1st made it officially 14 years. I'm going into my 14th year of business. So in that time frame, what I've noticed or what I've experienced is that fear is a part of us. Could be connected to the ego or the lower vibration of ego. It also can be just lower vibrational energy, but fear, it could be the seeds that were planted, worries, fears, doubts, conditioning from upbringing. Again, it's not bad, it's just an opportunity for us to learn and grow. So if we can lean into fear and see it as a part of you that's trying to protect you from something. It could be an outdated belief system. It could be connected to your inner child. Again, it could be connected to ego. And it's teaching you something. Maybe it's teaching you that you've outgrown something. Maybe it's teaching you of where to focus your energy next. So I don't like to demonize that energy. But also, too, when you're seeking support, when you're going outside of yourself, which is we all need support. We're human beings. We all need to feel connection. We all need to feel right that we're being supported by people that are around us. And so you have to understand there's a fear-based vibration and there is a love-based vibration. They are both important. Some of that energy teaches us about our power and teaches us to go within, because that energy, maybe it's the fear vibration, will disempower us, right? I call it fear love. Don't do this or don't do that. And it says the worst, right? Like, I don't know if I can give an example, but like it activates the words that are triggers for us, like stress and overwhelm and confusion, and it kind of like separates you from your power in a way. Like it will fuel those words, and then, or anxiety, right? And when those words come up, they're trigger words for us, and we're like, oh yes, I can identify with that. I can, absolutely, that's me. But you have to understand that is everybody, right? But it also can draw you in a sense where if you're not mindful, it can disempower you to think unconsciously, and a lot of times we don't realize this, that we're giving away our power for somebody else to tell us what to say, what to do, how to feel. Now that can be an incredible support system, but it's really important to practice discernment with the information you're receiving in, especially as earth angels being so sensitive. You are what you eat. And that's something that somebody in my life is always reminding me of, and it's so fun to experience that energy. But you are what you eat, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, right? If you are plugging into that energy of lack in any way, right, then unconsciously we can create more of that in our lives and disconnect, or I shouldn't say disconnect, feel disempowered to go outside, that somebody else can tell you what to do, knows the answers to your problems, and then there is the vibration that wants to encourage, uplift, and inspire using empowering words. Now, again, I'm not saying whatever energies are in whatever vibration is good or bad. I'm saying practice discernment with the information you're taking in and check in with how it's making you feel. If it's triggering or activating anxiety, or it's making you feel like you don't have the power within you, pull back, right? And just check in with your guides. I always say, show me truth. If this is something I'm supposed to do, say, be, or have, God, divine, show me truth, right? And I always, because, as me as a loving person, I want to believe everybody has good in them, which I know they do, but it can be clouded by people's, just stuff, right? Their own fear, right? So, even if I can feel something is loving and it feels supportive or it looks great on the outside, I've learned so often that the second I kind of disconnect from my own intuition, my own body, my own guidance, I can get sucked in and consumed and hurt emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and sometimes even physically. So this week and the next coming weeks, I guess, whenever you're receiving this, this is a message about practicing discernment, and surrounding yourself with energies that feel uplifting, encouraging, and supportive, right? Healthy support wants to nurture you, wants to give you a platform for your voice to be heard, for you to share insecurities, for you to share fears and worries. And healthy support kind of offers like an energetic hug. I believe in you. It will encourage you, will inspire you. And again, so this is where I want to connect with Archangel Michael this week, because he is a guide that will guide you and lead you. Michael is the energy that is the patron saint of the military, law enforcement in this physical world, material world, but also he is the bodyguard, the police for the earth angels, right? When you invite him in your life, he goes ahead and clears the way. So again, maybe some of you out there are making shifts or changes. Maybe you're working with somebody or having an experiences that you're like, I don't understand why this doesn't feel right. Like not everything is as it seems, right? And if something is off and something just doesn't feel right, or just something seems like, it looks this way, but I'm feeling this way, it is so important for you to pull back and just check in with yourself. Non-action is really empowering action. And then being able to check with your guides to give you evidence or proof of how to move forward. That's why I say, we don't want to run away from the intensity of energies, but sometimes we just want to pull back, create space, and lean into it. That's where you activate your courage, right? We're walking here forward in our soul journey. Soul is in singular, and then soul as in, your higher self is on a journey here on this planet. And there's just so much information. There's so much influence, and I think it's a really good thing when we get zapped or we get taken advantage of, or something comes up where you're like, damn, I could have learned from that, or why didn't I see it, or I negated my intuition. It's really important for you to love yourself even deeper at that point, and then ask yourself, how can I learn from this? So I feel like this message can be translated in many different ways, so please take in what resonates and then release the rest and leave the rest for somebody else. So let me get into the reading here. So the the cards I'm going to be using is the Archangel Michael Oracle cards for a message from him. And then what your soul wants you to know about your healing journey. This is going to be what action steps you can take this week, what you're being gifted with from Oracle of the Angels, and then finally we're going to get an overall message as you move through these experiences, the divine abundance. All right, so let's begin. Let me open up space, inviting in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light that would like to assist with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good, and the best and highest good of all concerned. All right, Michael, I'm going to imagine, visualize, pretend that I'm connecting my heart to the heart of the energy of Archangel Michael. And those of you who have been watching my channel for any point in time know that Archangel Michael sends sirens, right? Fire trucks, ambulances, cop cars. It can be a quiet presence. You might just be seeing law enforcement pop up, but they're not blaring. It's a reminder that Michael is always present and he's always got your back. Let's see, sometimes if I keep hearing interruptions, like phone connections get disrupted, or like landscaper, like the buzzers, or like the weed whackers, things like that, or car alarms. Those are all signs that I've gotten and experienced of the Archangel Michael over, it's been over 14 years now, maybe 20 years that I've been working with the angels, 21 now, I think, at this point. But anyway, those are ways that you can kind of recognize his energy. Let's see what else. He can sometimes show up as the knight in shining armor. So you might see the knight on the white horse. Could also be connected to Archangel Michael. The color indigo, so when people resonate, law enforcement usually resonates with the royal blue aspect. Spiritual people connect Archangel Michael with the royal purple, so the indigo color is a connection to the Archangel Michael as well. If you are more visual and you see colors, it's a great color that you could wear. You can have like a blanket or a shirt or a sweatshirt with those colors, and it really is a sense of protection. It's like a suit of armor. I want to gift you with the Archangel Michael this week. And all right, Michael, what is the most important message that you need your earth angels to hear, see, feel, and know for this coming week, October 3rd through the 9th, or whenever they're guided to watch? All right, let's see here. All right, let's go with this one and this one. Let's begin. So we have, you're on the right path. Oh my gosh, look it, right? Michael's got your hand, he's got your back. Again, when you start sharing who you are, when you start making changes in your life and people start to see that, it's not uncommon for people to love you, to have opinions, right? And everybody's entitled to their opinions, but it can really be, it can feel like a tug of war, right? When, you feel in your heart, you want to move forward in a direction, or you have an experiences and you're feeling like in that energy of influence over you. It kind of like infects your mind, right? It's not uncommon to feel confused or to feel scared. And so if that's happening for you this week, or you're not really sure, and maybe doubts have come up, which is great for this retrograde energy, right? You want to practice discernment. You want to dot your I's and cross your T's. So being squeezed is an important part of the experience and the growth process, even though it's uncomfortable. So Michael is coming in this week for some of you out there who need to hear this, that you are on the right path. And you can utilize this prayer. You could screenshot this picture, and anytime you feel that overwhelm, or anytime you feel that energy rise up from within that feels uncomfortable or discord, again, being able to recognize it, to be able to soothe yourself and say this prayer. Archangel Michael, I call upon you now. Thank you for giving me loud and clear guidance that I easily understand. Thank you for motivating me and filling me with the courage and confidence to make healthful life changes. So understand that, change isn't something that people embrace naturally. Like, we like our comfort zones, but those comfort zones don't necessarily mean because it's comfortable that it's healthy and where we need to stay. And this is why the universe puts the squeeze to make us uncomfortable, right? In relationships, in our own body, in the environment, in our jobs, because growth is upon us, right? And so I'm feeling that squeeze for the earth angels, but understand it's a good thing. And so, you might have had a plan or a direction and things are kind of changing course, and you're learning how to, again, practice discernment, taking in what resonates and dumping the rest, allowing people to love on you in the way that they're going to, but also being empowered and saying, yes, I'm going to feed myself with that, or no, thank you, period. Right? And that's okay too. So again, Michael's reminding you that you're on the right path this week, and God is in charge. Oh my God, these are so good, right? So you have the masculine and feminine here energy and the inner child. So I just feel like before I read it, this kind of represents the parts of you, the masculine, the inner feminine, and then the inner child, right? So, and above all, God is in charge of your well-being. God is in charge of let's say your gifts and how the world receives them, right? So God is in charge. You have to understand that God isn't a separation. It's not, if we think God is separation, it's part of the illusion, right? The dream or the ego. But God is us, right? God, the divine, it is us. We are divine beings, right? Having a human experience on this planet. So understand that your higher self, your soul, and all that works with that energy is in charge. So some of you may need to kind of go higher, right? Some of you may need to remember that you're not separate from this energy. And if you're thinking like, I need to do this and I need to make this happen and I'm responsible for, you have to remember that's the ego getting activated. And it's really great that happens, because you can learn from it and you can recognize it's a lower vibration that's not going to help you thrive, right? Every once in a while, I am like 95% plant-based, but every once in a while there's this pizza place that I get a pizza and onion rings from. Every once in a while my body craves it, and I get it, and I literally, my body like sucks it up. I enjoy it. If I'm eating dairy just like regularly, I have skin issues and I just feel bloated and uncomfortable. So for me personally, I limit the amount of dairy that I have. It does affect me emotionally. Certainly, I cry a lot more. It's just something that I've noticed for myself. But every once in a while when I'm listening to my body, I will order a cheese pizza and onion rings, and friends, I will eat it up, and I usually only eat half and share the rest with my mother, and it's just really what my body needs. So you have to understand that there is no, this is all wrong or this is all right, or I need to do this or I need to do that. We're kind of learning here about the pendulum swing in the middle, and you have to remember your soul, right? Your higher self knows best, and when I do that, I do muscle testing when I'm out at restaurants and trying to decide what it is that I want to eat. What do I feel like? I don't always know. So I'm like, oh, the divine is in charge, my higher self. What does my body want, right? And I do muscle testing. And I always go with what I'm guided to and not what my mind wants, right? Or the addiction of like needing food or substance and it not being quality for me, right? And again, this is just all ways that we can practice discernment. So if you are challenged with this, right, and you have a lot of responsibilities on your plate and you're feeling overwhelmed and under influence, know that you're learning and you're evolving. You need to be aware of these things, but you can grow through them with support from the divine. And the prayer says, "Dear God, Please help me let go of this situation, giving it in faith and trust to your divine wisdom and infinite love in order to resolve and heal everything and everyone involved. So again, if you're feeling powerless, if you're feeling out of control about a situation, one of the best things you can do is lean back. Jesus talked about this often, like giving it space. Like when we release the worry to Jesus or the divine or the Archangel Michael, chances are things end up and get busy doing other things, right? Get busy doing the things that you really need to do. Maybe it's laundry, maybe it's food shopping, maybe it is sleeping extra, maybe it is like making a delicious salad. Get busy doing something that is going to support your quality of life that you're creating for yourself, and let the divine intervene, right? Let the divine intervention come in, and chances are a lot of times the things that we worry about, we don't even, it doesn't even come to it doesn't even get to the point where the mind is escalating, right? Or, so many times I look back and I'm like, God, I worried so much. And, again, I've learned from it, but I'm making a conscious effort to be able to recognize the fear and saying, okay, if I've got fear here, is there any action that I can take that's within my control or within, my means? And if it's a no, I leave it to the divine. And, I do my prayers and my meditations and affirmations and automatic writing. And sometimes I just watch a movie, and I just kind of get out of the way, right? And that activates my full faith when things work out, or when things happen in a way better than I could have imagined. That's why I always say, when you release that energy to the divine, ask them to resolve it easily and effortlessly, or something even better, right? I've had so many experiences where the something even better came along, and it was totally like I had limitations and beliefs of what could come in and how it could come in, and then it was better than it was that something even better, and I kind of chuckled about it. So you want to remember, you're co-creating this. God is in charge is not power over. It's the remembering that you are love, that you are a divine being, and that knows best, right? So let me see, what does your soul want you to know about your healing journey and the experiences you're having? What's the healing message that your soul wants you to know that you're learning here? I'll put these two. Happiness and yep, this is exactly what we're talking about. Like adversity, it's an opportunity to change and grow. So you're learning through these experiences, right? Or this discord you might be feeling, or the encouraging to feel the influence in the mind, whether it be external or whether it be internal. Ideally, we want happiness, right? Because when you feel good, the people around you feel good. You radiate that energy. A lot of people have told me that I radiate an energy of joy. I just really love life, and when I'm out, and I just love people. I love the work that I do. I really enjoy my life, in the life that I've created for myself. Now, don't get me wrong, that's taking a lot of therapy, a lot of divine intervention, a lot of spiritual support, and a lot of reading. So, I just didn't fall off the wagon this way, but I do feel joy and peace from the inside out, which creates this energy of happiness, right? More often than not. And it was through the adversity that I got here, right? So the cards say, I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. Oh my gosh. On the right path. On the right path. You can see them both say. And it's through adversity that we grow to get to this place. So it says, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. I'm telling you, friends, this just all goes in alignment with what I channeled at the beginning of the reading. And also to this is where we're going to, right? And we're not going to get there if we're constantly surrounded by people who are feeding or just giving you the junk food, right? I know people are well-meaning, right? All outlets of information is well-meaning. It's just we have to change. We have to change our approach and the fear tactics in the mental health industry, in the spiritual community, in the health physical fitness industry, right? It's capitalized on feeding on the fear, right? And it's perpetuating more fear in a lot of ways. And earth angels have just an incredible innate ability to do it differently, to empower. And because I know it feels different, it feels off, it feels frustrating, right? So many of you in many different areas are being called to the light, to be called to the forefront, to do it differently in a way that hasn't been done before. A lot of these platforms that are accumulate mass amounts of views and information, it just perpetuates more of the same. And earth angels, what I've seen is that earth angels have really taken a step back, and you're really going within, and you're really working on your self-care, your own health, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And I feel like, it's only a matter of time, maybe 2022, right? With the have faith, everything's going to be okay energy, that strong 2 vibration that's coming in. And then 2022 will be a 6 universal year, which is about creativity and home and family, right? And community and support. Understand that when you do it your way, when you do it in the way that feels inspiring and uplifting to you, right? That is when you'll thrive. For example, through the pandemic in 2020, and even 2021, this year that we're in, depending on when you're watching this, I received a lot of supportive messages asking how I was doing, if I was going to make it, if I was financially okay, and and it did activate fear within me. I'm like, well, right now I am, but I don't know, everything is so unknown, and so I had to kind of pull back, and I had to remember who I am. I'm gonna quote Joel Osteen here, but I am a child of the Most High God, and through a series of circumstances, it's empowered me to know that when something is in alignment with divine will, when something is in alignment with your higher self and your purpose on work, there's nothing that's going to take you from that. So by the grace of God and clients and resources that were out there for so many people, so many of you were inspired to embark on a journey of self-discovery and healing, and it's kind of where my coaching energy picked up, right? So I remember saying to somebody that, I'm like, wow, is that arrogant? I'm like, well, no, I really believe that. I remember saying to somebody that I am a child of the Most High God, and God has big plans for me, and I'm not going anywhere. And she was so relieved. She was so sweet, but it just came out of me. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. This is like my life's work, and I know it will always evolve, and it will always shift, depending on what the planet needs at this time, but you have to understand that what you're doing right, in the way that you're doing it, even though the world may not understand it, if it is in accordance to your higher self, right, not that ego self, right, we've got to practice discernment with that, and you've got to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why do I feel the desire? What do I feel the pull? And it all, for me personally, it always comes back to my values. What are my values? And I love people, and I love God, and I want the best for people. I want people to thrive. I want people to feel good. And I have to say, financially, I'm supported, but I don't do this work financially. And I'm not saying anybody who does is wrong. I'm just saying that the energy of passion that wells up within me, that knows that I have this purpose on earth to do the things that I'm doing, and there are the sirens, like right on cue. Perfect. So some of you may have been feeling the doubts a little bit, but when you are asking yourself, what is my why? What are my values? And is this in accordance with that? Is this influence because I feel like I should, and this is how other people have done it? Or is it, I cannot do it any other way? And you're ignited with that passion within, right? We're starting to feel this energy because you've filtered out a lot of the worries, the fears, the doubts. You've had these adversities and you're on your way to happiness. And I think that's why the universe is saying, listen, if things feel sticky or uncertain or confusing or there's adversity, know that it's like a mirage. It's like an illusion, right? So happiness is on the way and you are on the right path. So keep doing what you're doing. I hope that was helpful for me to share my personal experiences. And again, I'm always evolving and growing. So not everything that I say, you may have outgrown this, these readings. You may check in every once in a while. It may be, you may not be ready for it, and that's okay too. We couldn't possibly know everything we were supposed to know in this lifetime. So it's always evolving and shifting. Right now, this is the experiences I'm having, right? And I understand that we do need reminders. We do need to know that we're on the right path, even though we might be feeling adversity and challenges and experiences with people in our lives that love us, right? That have been there with us for a while, but you're shifting. And it's the ones that are closest to us that will help us grow in adversity or in happiness. All right, so what action steps can you take? What action steps can you take this week to support your healing? What action steps can you take, Michael? Fluorite. So it says natural beauty and authenticity. See? So here's the thing. There's always trends, right? There's always the quick buck. There's always short term just to get by, and we really got to be mindful that we're coming out of that energy, right? Is this quality for me and not necessarily quantity? And again, this goes back to authenticity. What are your values? What is your why? Why are you passionate? And there's so many areas in life that you and an earth angel can be a beacon of light in the smallest of ways and the grandest of ways. I had a dream last night that I was best friends with Oprah. She was sitting in a chair next to me. And again, it didn't feel like Oprah as Oprah on this planet. It felt like a wise being who had who had the blessing of love from a lot of people. So in my dream, it was the idea of Oprah, but it wasn't her, if that makes sense. And in dreams, if you follow Carl Jung's work, in dreams, the people that you're experiencing in your dreams are really representing a part of you in some way. And so that part of me that loves people, and Oprah in the physical opened up the spiritual community with the New Earth with Eckhart Tolle, and just really exploded from there and gave platforms to like Marianne Williamson and Wayne Dyer and Deepak Chopra and many Brian Weiss and many others, and really she was instrumental at that time of opening up the door for people like us earth angels to feel like we have something to offer in a different way in this world, right? So I believe it represented an authentic part of me and the way I want to support people in the world, and understand it's the same thing for you too. And the only way you get clarity about your identity and who you are is through the adversity, and through the challenges. I feel like I've had to stand my ground in a lot of things in life with a lot of people, and continue to keep saying, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it in the way that feels right to my heart. And, people have come and gone along the way. And I just feel like this is a message of the heart, because there may be some of you out there that are feeling this way, that are feeling the challenge of influence over, inspiration, and know that it does take courage to move forward against the status quo and the norm and what's out there. And again, this is not related to any specific area. There's so much of this going on the planet with our healthcare and our jobs and our friendships and our support systems and the spaces we're living in. There's just so many things that are shifting in this space. And remember, we're in a 5 universal year, which is about transformation and change. So we're changing the way we've done things. And in order for that to happen, we need to be squeezed, right? And that's why I say with healthcare, with the spiritual community, with the emotional energy, with our physical bodies, everything is evolving. So you're being asked to really ground into that energy and call on the Archangel Michael to be a beacon of light and a protector for you. So the card says here, be yourself as God made you, naturally attractive and lovable inside and out. Again, authenticity. This is who I am. And I don't necessarily believe when it's saying, my feeling of naturally attractive isn't connected to the physical and the outside. We have to kind of get past that, the physical appearance, right? And there's a lot of why I don't, put myself on camera, because I just don't feel like it's important. For me, it's the message. And I'm grateful for those of you who watch it and, stay focused without me being present, right? You're listening to my voice. And, I think that's the natural beauty. It's like we have to get past the physical and go in like, what's your natural beauty, right? And there's so many beautiful people in this world that ignite the light from inside out. And this is how earth angels connect with each other, right? We just know. And I know you've experienced, if you've ever gone on retreats or you've ever gone away with like-minded people, it's just like you would do things with people that you would never do. So I remember I'd go on retreats and I'd meet somebody in an elevator that was in the same class as I, and we could tell instantly that we were like the same person. And, a lot of those people that I connected with in those ways, in those environments, I'm still strongly connected with to this day, right? So we're moving past the physical and really learning to intuitively attract people and connect with people where you just know they're your people, right? They're your beacon of light. And that's because you're evolving and you're shifting, right? So you're igniting your natural beauty, which is your divine self. And it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, it's the inside. People are going to experience your heart, and they're going to want to know you, and they're going to want to connect with you. And this is why for the last couple of years, so many of you have been working on your boundaries, and you've been working on communication and expressing yourself and understanding your divine gifts and your intuition, right? Because we're getting ready to step into that action in a place of love in accordance with the divine will, right, of our journey. So I love that. And so an action step you could also take if you have fluorite. Fluorite is a beautiful like mint green and purplish stone. The fluorite that I have. So if you have that, can also support you with your worth and value. And, you got to feel empowered from the inside out. And that takes time, that takes support, that takes love, that takes compassion, right? And so many of you are growing. It really moves me to tears in a way to get off calls with clients and people that I work with and to leave the office and just to reflect at the end of the day on how many people are really making incredible moves, how inspiring the people I work with are. And so many of them, myself included, struggle with, I don't know what I'm doing, and, I struggle with this, and, understand that, the divine sees you, and you will attract in all your needs being met as you continue to embark on this path, this journey that you're on. All right, so what are you being gifted with this week? Michael can also connect with sword energy too. So if you see that coming up, that's another sign that Michael's around. All right, Michael, what are you gifting? What are the Earth Angels being gifted with this week? I feel like, before I pick these cards, some of you might be guided to change the way you're doing things. Maybe to shift. If something's not working or it's not feeling right or you're getting adversity from the outside, some of you might be guided to move in a different direction, which will require change and for you to release. So maybe this retrograde is really, or this week is really activating that within you. So I just kind of wanted to share that. Maybe some of you are being encouraged. Remember, energy is constantly changing all around us because of free will. And, maybe the way you've been doing things isn't necessarily working working, and it might be time for some space to kind of go in, connect with the Holy Spirit, and follow the leads in a different way. So that's just another message that just popped up. So what are you being gifted with this week? Ascension. Yeah, see? So I was just saying that. So 43 equals 7. 7 for me is an inner number, going within. It's connecting with the shadow self too, right? So shadow self is, in a lot of ways connected to our inner child, our programmings, our belief systems. And when we can go back and revisit those experiences that were challenging or difficult, or where there was adversity, we can learn from those experiences and grow, right? Ascension is merely learning at a fast rate, evolving. We're energetically connecting to an energy on this planet that's never been accessed on a mass level in the way that it is right now. So there's a lot of newness coming up. There's a lot of new energies. You got to move past fourth dimension, friends. You got to get into fifth dimension and above. And there's a golden key with fifth dimension, right? You Earth Angels know that, when you're dialed into fifth dimension and above. It's like a rite of passage, right? So some of you may still be in that fourth dimension. And again, this is just semantics. It's words. It's a vibration. Fourth dimension. There's still some ego energy in fourth dimension. It's where spirit energy resides, right? Fifth dimension and above is where the archangels and the higher lights are. And I don't mean better, because it's all important. But even at night before you go to bed, you want to ask your guides to move you to fifth dimension and above. Those of you who are operating from the heart, the key is natural. It's already there for you. There are energies in this world that have an agenda and are out for personal gain, which again, that's their journey, and they're there to teach us too. So again, I'm not saying this is good or bad. I really want to be clear about that, but it's now time for us to start moving away from those energies and learning and growing and being activating that self-sovereignty, that independence within, right? So we're growing here and learning. So you're being gifted with knowledge and wisdom and insight in ways that, we haven't experienced it before, which is connected to ascension, right? Go to the light. And then you're also being gifted with, I am beautiful. Again, here it goes with natural beauty, right? When you're on the right path, you're lit up from the inside out, right? Your voice is being heard. Your energy is being felt. Your vibration. It's not about the physical, right? And so again, this is card number 37 that equals 10. 10 equals 1, and 1 is all about new beginning. So this is the start, my friends, right? So really clearing out that junk food in your life that's not that's not nourishing you in this affirmation. So even at night before you're going to bed, to be able to acknowledge that, and then asking the divine to show you in all the ways that you're beautiful, that you're radiant, right? That maybe it's your laughter, maybe it's your compassion, maybe it's your ability to care for others, maybe it's your voice, maybe it is just your ability to be in tune with what people need. Maybe it's your ability to listen or being at the right place at the right time. There's so many aspects to this. So it's interesting that the light is shining on it. It's kind of like cutting it off a little bit, which again, I think that's also symbolic there, that we have to be reminded that, the light is our beauty, right? Oh, good. There it is. The light is our beauty. Perfect. Surrounded by the light. That's what makes us beautiful and radiant and starts to give us an opportunity to share and to love humanity at the capacity that we do in that unconditional vibration that you're so gifted with. All right, so let me finish up here. So that all being said, where are you going with all this? So, Michael, what overall message do you have with regards to the Earth Angels' divine abundance, right? Laughter, play, adventure, fun, freedom, financial wealth and security, financial freedom, all aspects of abundance. What's the most important message they need to hear, see, feel, and know this week? I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to go with this one, because the other one has like a pack of 4. So I'll go with this one. Karma. We talked about this a little bit last week with Saint Germain, right? Releasing. So there's nothing from a past life that can't be addressed in your current life. So what you're being gifted with is good karma, good energy, blessings, and love, right? So remember, when you're on the right path, when you are, again, sometimes we're called to do things, to be of service in ways that might be scary to us or confusing. Maybe you're saving a bunch of money, and right before you'll be able to utilize that money in the way that you've been saving for, maybe somebody else needs it. And you feel in your heart that, helping them would also be amazing. And then what happens is you share that, and then it comes back tenfold, right? So you're learning the laws of karma, is that when we give generously, now you have to understand, practicing discernment between the takers, right? Those that need that fix, save, change energy, and then practicing discernment with those that we want to comfort, support, teach, and inspire, right? So we're understanding the laws of energy when we're on the right path, when we know God is in charge. We're activating happiness. We're learning from adversity, right? We're evolving and growing and learning, understanding our radiant beauty from within. We're accumulating healthy, loving karma. So maybe some of you, maybe there are some things that you might not be your proudest moments in the past. Maybe there are some things you've said and done in your past that you wish you could take back. But understand that it's all an opportunity to learn, and God loves you regardless, right? So it's only the ego self, or that lower part of us, that wants to shame, that wants to demonize, that wants to persecute us for those experiences. And I feel like this is just kind of an overall message to help you break past that barrier that you might be feeling, that there's nothing from a past life that can't be addressed in the current life. So there's nothing maybe in your past lives in general. I hear this often when, people are challenged and feeling adversity. They say to me, like, I don't know what I did in another life, but I feel like I'm being punished, right? And so, that's a limitation, a belief system of the ego, right? And so when we can just shift our viewpoint in the way we look at things, some of you are like 10, 11, and 12 life path people. If you're a master number, you've come into this life for big spiritual growth, and usually there's a lot of challenge and adversity that comes from it. I'm a 12 life path. My life path is 12, and I've gone through really dark stuff and really difficult stuff, and I know I'm ascending at a fast rate, and this is why my platform is changing, and the way I share my voice and whom I'm working with now in different ways is evolving, right? So whatever I had in my past lives, or even in my past this life, whatever I've done that I might be labeling as shameful or hurtful, or that came from pain, I've forgiven myself, right? And understanding that if I can learn from it and I can help somebody with it, that my karma is good, and like attracts like. So and so I also feel like, for me, I see so I don't know if you see this, but I see an owl here. I don't know why. I just feel like an owl energy in this yellow here. Owl is about seeing the unseen. We have this number 7 here in Ascension. For some of you, maybe it's, if you're feeling the limitations or you're feeling the discord, maybe this week kind of going into that space and forgiving yourself or releasing karma so that you can move forward easily and effortlessly, or something even better. Let me see here. I'm really guided to look at the bottom of this deck. Interesting. Wow. So I don't know why. I just felt like I needed to have another card from this deck. And the card that came out here is non-duality. And it says, let your authentic humanity shine forth, while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent in both, right? So again, this is like a reminder that we're human and divine, 100% human, 100% divine, and we're having experiences in order to evolve and ascend. So remember, like, non-duality, let your authentic humanity shine forth, right? And we just got that here too. So, all right, I just felt like I needed to pull the bottom of the deck, and this just kind of makes sense. You know, we've got the Om symbol here, which is a symbol of protection. You have to understand that this is you as a divine. There's the sirens again. Oh my gosh, it just said protection. And Michael's like, me, I'm protection. So hold on. It's just, there they go. That's wild. I just said the Om symbol is a symbol of protection. Michael's also saying he's a symbol of protection too, to call him in. But understand, this is you as a divine being here, right? And so you've got to see yourself as you go out into the world, or you wake up in the morning, surrounded by this sacred energy, right? This integration of divine and human. And this is how we evolve, when we accept ourselves as we are, right? And not necessarily beat ourselves up for what we did and didn't do, and who we are and who we're not, and all that other baloney that the world wants to feed us. Anyway, I'm a little I always say, like, the baloney is like, you know, I've gone through a lot of stuff myself, so there's the sirens again. You know, so I get frustrated with the programs of the world that aren't contributing to our overall health on this planet. So anyway, I'm gonna stop there because I feel like my own stuff coming up. So I'm going to leave that message there, closing space, thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels and ascended masters, the Divine Mother and Father, and all their holy beings of light that assisted with his guidance, specifically the Archangel Michael. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done. And so it is. All right, friends, you have to remember, I am super mama bear. I am quadruple Cancer, mama bear, and I totally get fired up when it comes to protecting people that don't know any better. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. If I can support you in any way, my online booking system is available. I'm working hybridly right now. I have part-time office hours in the office, and I have part-time hours at home, online on Zoom or phone calls. If you're not finding a time that works for you, you know, and you know, a better day would be better, just email me or send me a message. Not so much on YouTube. You know, I've got so many things going on. I'm not always good about you know, following up on messages that come through YouTube, which I am working on that. You know, I know I'm one person and I've got a lot going on, which is great, and I'm just learning how to manage all these things in a different way. So not always best, but email is always the best way to contact me if you you know, want to set up a date that you're not seeing. And my email is support@GladysEllen.com. That's the best way to reach me, and that's also in the notes below, as well as my online booking system. So I'd love to talk to you. Maybe you're struggling with the loss of a loved one and trying to understand that. Maybe you're challenged with life purpose and things are changing for you. Maybe you just would like some divine guidance and some encouragement, and wanting to know what angels are working with you and how. You know, you don't really have to say much. All you've got to do is feel the call and the pull, and you know, the angels and your guides will do the rest. So that is always available. Again, the way to do that is connect with me. The information is in the notes or description box below this video. So thank you so much for watching. I love you. God loves you so much. And there are the sirens again. And Michael loves you. I always say Michael's a little bit of a show off. He's kind of funny. It's pretty incredible how many sirens. Hold on. Here they go. Yep, there they go. It's incredible how many sirens we've heard in this video. I can't remember, like, weeks past. Maybe they come here and there, and they were last year a lot, but not so much this year. So it's pretty incredible that if you've ever read like the Celestine prophecy or things like that, we're talking about the coincidences and signs. It's pretty phenomenal how these are coming up, or the signs are coming in with Michael. So anyway, I don't know where I was at. I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine. Trust your intuition, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.